on my first ever live stream, and after 10 and a half minutes, it cut off right as I was starting to draw cards for all the people that were on the live stream at the time. So I'm making this video to draw cards and redo the readings for Greg, Joanna, Kysha, and Evelyn. So the card deck that I was drawn to for Greg is the Ask and It Is Given deck. So I'm going to go ahead and set the intention that the universe is going to send me messages for all of you who were there. Thank you for supporting me. And we're going to see what messages come out. I had 35 minutes, wonderful minutes of live, and only 10 and a half of it were actually streamed and recorded. So the other 25 minutes were lost to us. But live and learn. I'm going to figure out what equipment I need to make my lives work better, and in the meantime, I have videos I can make. So this one is for you, Greg. What does the universe want to tell Greg? What does the universe have for Greg? The cards were very active when I started to draw for Greg in the live, and the video cut off right when his card popped out. Okay. Well, you got two cards this time. I guess the universe decided to expand on the message. So let's see what we've got here for Greg. Okay. The first message is, life is always in motion, so I cannot be stuck. There it is. It is not possible to stand still or be stuck because energy and therefore life is always in motion. Things are always changing. The reason it may feel to you as if you are stuck is because while you are continuing to think the same thoughts, things are changing, but they are changing to the same thing over and over. Wow. What a message that I think we can all probably relate to. I'm pretty sure that most or all of us have felt stuck in our lives at some point or another. And the message here is so concise, because I love where it says that the reason you feel stuck is because you're thinking the same thoughts over and over again. So things are changing, but they're changing to the same thing. In other words, we have to change our thoughts to change our life, which Dr. Wayne Dyer has a book all about that. Change your thoughts, change your life. And I think that for me, my intuition is saying, try to make these changes of thought a gradual process, because it can be overwhelming to think, oh gosh, I have these negative thoughts that are bringing in things that I don't want, and I don't want to think those thoughts. I don't want to think those thoughts. But it's impossible that while you're telling yourself to not think those thoughts, you're thinking the thoughts. So what I find to be a really good practice, which is very interesting because this is the messaging that was on the live stream that is lost for Greg. The message was to have a practice where you either write down a list of thoughts that you know make you feel good when you think them, maybe put sticky notes around that have those thoughts on them. And when you catch yourself in a negative thought, then you have some guidance as to, okay, instead of telling yourself not to think this negative thought, how about just tell yourself to think this one that makes you feel good? And as you do that day after day, make a practice out of it. Try to make sure you're catching your negative thoughts when they come up. Understand that that means it's just guidance. Negative thoughts mean that what you are thinking is not in harmony with what you want. And that's a good thing to know, because then you can decide, okay, I want to think thoughts that make me feel good, because then I'll get more of what I want. So if you can make that a practice, I think that would be fantastic. Your other message is absolute well-being is the basis of my universe. There it is. Well-being is the basis of all that is. It flows to you and through you. You only have to allow it. Like the air you breathe, you only have to open, relax, and draw it into your being. I love this message piggybacking on the last one, because to me, this is a message that I've gotten from many people in different ways, but it's about slowing down, understanding that this is a journey that is not going to be perfect. You will be always learning, expanding. Expansion is our nature. And one of the ways we can expand is by actually slowing down, relaxing into life. And I think that these two messages go beautifully together for you, Greg. And I hope they really resonate with you, and that you can take these and put some of the information into practice to enhance your experience. So I also drew a card for Kysha, and I'm going to redraw for her because all of this was lost. So I'm going to draw from the Law of Attraction cards for Kysha. Thank you, universe, for sending a message to Kysha. The cards are very active today. I think it's because was my first live, and then it didn't go quite, as expected, and it's all good. It's all good. Maybe this was meant to be. So I am going to draw for Kysha. What message would you like for Kysha? Okay. Oh, sorry, that was loud. All right, Kysha. Here's what we got for you. Attention to what is only creates more what is. I love this message because I can relate to that. Many want to point out reality to you. They say, face the facts, look at what is. And we say to you, if you are able to see only what is, then by the law of attraction, you will create only more of what is. You must put your thoughts beyond what is in order to attract something more or something that is different. So important. We are trained into seeing what is, most of us. And this is what we consider real and what's truth and reality. Not understanding that if we change the way we're thinking and feeling, we can change what is. So again, I would recommend making a practice where you are catching yourself thinking throughout the day, throughout your experience, and just take a second to pull back, observe what that thought is, observe how you're feeling. If it's a good feeling thought, write that one down and later refer to it when you are thinking a negative thought. If it's a thought that you are uncomfortable with or makes you unhappy, then that is when you decide, okay, what am I thinking and what am I feeling? How do I want to feel, and what can I think to then draw that feeling to me? So when you can correlate the two and understand that you can think thoughts that make you feel good, even in the midst of not feeling so good. It might take a little time and a little practice. That's okay. Like I said, this is a journey. It's not a quick race. It's a marathon. So we are going to, I think it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So when we can realize that, take it more easy on ourselves, relax into life, and know, like, I want to feel good. What makes me feel good? Let me think about that for a little bit. And just start practicing it every day. And eventually you notice, wow, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better and better. And look at these things that are coming to me that make me feel good now. So that would be my advice based on the messaging from the universe for Kysha. Joanna, you are next. And I'm going to draw, let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to draw from Getting into the Vortex for you. I think that was the deck I pulled from in the live that is forever lost. So, Joanna, what does the universe have for you? I'm so happy you joined me. I appreciate you watching this video. I'm trying to redeem myself by making this video for all of you because I appreciate the support and I want the messages to reach you that the universe has. I figure, you know, the difficulties I had are just like life, and so I decided that this is a time for me to learn and grow. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this get me down. I am going to help this make me stronger and practice more. And so here we are. We're drawing for Joanna. Thank you, universe. Joanna. I'm going to do another live. I'm not going to plan it until I figure out what equipment is going to make that experience better and enhance it. And until then, I can make my videos. But I will definitely let everyone know when I'm going to do a live, and you can bet, cross my fingers, that it goes better next time. What do you have for Joanna? What messaging do you want her to hear? Joanna, thank you. Okay, I guess that's it. I don't guess, it is it. Okay, so Joanna's message is, our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. There it is. When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it. And when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and the well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior, and you will not, unless you give your attention to it, you become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. This is wild, Joanna, because in the live, this was the messaging that I pulled for you in a different card, different verbiage, same message. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is confirmation for me. Every time I pull cards, it's confirmation. So anyway, so the points that I made, I think, for you in the live that I will make based on this message are that oftentimes we look at what's happening with other people. We get wrapped up in their emotional reaction to what's happening in their life, and then it affects our life. But we tend to, sometimes we blame the other person because we see that direct correlation, not understanding that it's just us allowing our vibration to get mixed up with theirs that's drawing these things into our life. So if we could separate our experience from their experience, let them have their experience, we have no other choice. They create their own reality. But if you want to have an individual experience, it says here, our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. So if you want to have your own experience based on what you desire and what you want to think and feel about, then you can start to live and let live a lot easier, understanding like my thoughts and my feelings are going to create my reality. So if I get wrapped up in theirs, guess what? Their reality becomes my reality, or things that are just like their reality become my reality. So I would practice separating yourself from other people's emotions. You can support people without becoming attached to their feelings and their thoughts and their beliefs. Because oftentimes we get wrapped up in other people's beliefs and start to believe them ourselves. So my recommendation, based on what the universe's messaging is to observe when you're getting caught up in other people's emotions about what's happening in their life, and learn to separate yourself from that and think, I could support this person in what they're going through without becoming attached to it myself. And I can become attached to the thoughts and feelings I want to have to bring in what I want into my life. So that is your messaging, Joanna, and I swear it is the same as what I pulled for you in the live. I'm so pleased. Like, all of this is lining up for every person. So Evelyn was the last person I pulled for, and I am going to pull from the well-being deck. Okay, so let's pull a card for Evelyn and see what comes up. Oh, that was, I don't know if I need to practice shuffling. Okay, never mind. Here we go. All right, Evelyn, let's see what we have for you. Thank you so much for joining the video. Okay, every emotion I feel is guidance. We talked about this as well. Every emotion I feel is guidance from my adoring and inner being. Look at that card. That's beautiful. I love these cards. Because my inner being offers a strong and steady vibrational signal, I can always feel my allowance or resistance to that signal. In other words, when you feel good, you are in alignment with your inner being. And when you are feeling not so good, what you're thinking and feeling about something is out of alignment with what your inner being thinks and feels about it. So as I reach for good feeling emotions, I am in alignment with the signal of my source. Okay, I love this message because so many times I feel that a lot of us are, say, uncomfortable with our emotions, especially the ones that we view as negative emotions. So if we are able to view all of our emotions as guidance, I think it changes our perspective of our emotions so that we are more allowing of those emotions, and then we can use those emotions to really guide our life in the direction we want it to go. So for me, the messaging here is very similar to some of the other messages because it's all about practicing catching the negative emotions, changing our thought to something that makes us feel good, and just keep practicing that and practicing it till most of the time we're feeling good because we're thinking thoughts that give us those good feelings. And that's how we use our emotions as guidance. A negative emotion is just saying, hey, how about we try to change the way we're thinking about this? Something about this is not right, or else we wouldn't be feeling negative emotion. So I think that that type of a practice is super important. So that is the message for Evelyn. And then I ended the live stream with a card from the Mindfulness and Self-Care deck. I love this deck. It's super simple messaging that has to do with, you know, our well-being and mindfulness practices. And it's always really great advice and very simple. I love this. It's a 48 card deck. My Law of Attraction decks are 60 cards each. And it's so crazy because there was one week, the universe just always speaks to me through these cards. And one week I drew cards for myself 4 out of the 6 or 7 days. Every single time I pulled the same card out of the one deck. Every day, 4 days. I was kind of freaking out a little bit, but I knew that that meant that the universe really wanted me to hear this message, really wanted me to apply it. And that's what I think is so great about, learning about the law of attraction, is that you could see very clearly and pretty quickly how, if you take the messages and turn them into little practices, you can really affect change in your life pretty quickly. When I started learning about the law of attraction and really implementing the practices, my manifestations went through the roof. And I just learned how to watch my thoughts. It's very uncomfortable at first sometimes, because having to watch your thoughts all the time can be a little overwhelming. And that's why I recommend taking your time with it. I know that most of us want change and we want it right now. But I think a lot of this has to do with slowing down and understanding that we're getting what we want, or we're getting what we think about, what we feel about. So let's learn how to change that a little bit at a time, and we'll see those things change. And before you know it, we have a card. Okay, sorry, I keep knocking those cards. They're loud. Okay, so the mindfulness message is: stress is caused by being here but wanting to be there, or being in the present but wanting to be in the future. That is what stress is. That is what, in my mind, the definition of anxiety is. And it's another message to slow down, see what's happening right now, find the parts of it that are good, that make you feel good, and start focusing your energy there, and watch more good things coming in. Thank you guys so much. I hope this makes up for the mishap on the live stream, and I love you guys, and I hope that you have a really, really fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.